Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. I'm Dustin. This is your Week 2 waiver wire. Plenty of stuff to talk about. We got some injuries. We had some big upsets going on in the NFL. Before we get into it though, DraftKings, if you want to sign up, use the promo code FST. Deposit at least $5 or more. You'll get entry into a free game. Go ahead and get started in the daily stuff. See what all the hype's about. They're a lot of fun. Go ahead and get in there. Let's talk about some running backs. First one, gotta start with my boy Danny Woodhead. Finding the end zone 2 times. Very happy to see that. Only on him 50% of leagues. Like I've been saying all along, he's not just a PPR guy. He can find the end zone. The Chargers are going to use him. I think he needs to be owned in all leagues. I think at the very least he's a flex play in all leagues as you get through your bye weeks. Ronnie Hillman's the next one I want to talk about. CJ Anderson owners should be a little bit worried. If Hillman didn't get hurt last year, CJ Anderson would have maybe never even gotten a chance to start. And Hillman outplayed Anderson week 1. Anderson did get a little bit banged up. They've already announced that he's going to be the starter on Thursday. But it's a short week. I don't know, Hillman looked pretty good. If you are an Anderson owner, I wouldn't panic. But if Hillman's out there, try to get him on your bench. Next, let's talk about the Arizona situation. Andre Ellington's out next 2 or 3 weeks. This leaves the door open for David Johnson and Chris Johnson. They've already announced that Chris Johnson's going to be their starter. You know, at this point in his career, I think Chris Johnson does have somewhat of a limited upside. I think David Johnson is the more exciting pickup, but I do really believe them when they say Chris Johnson's going to get the bulk of the carries. So if you're looking for a guy to pick up that's going to help you more right now, I like Chris Johnson. But if you're thinking more long-term and looking for a guy to stash on your bench with a higher upside, I like David Johnson. But both these guys need to get picked up. Duke Johnson's another guy I want to talk about. Browns offense did not look that great, and I think Duke Johnson's definitely the more versatile running back for them. He's got a lot of potential, a lot of high upside for him. I think he needs to be owned in all leagues just as a guy to have on your bench right now. Again, just filling your bench with high upside guys. I'm always a big fan of that. Duke Johnson is a guy that I like for that. Javarius Allen, aka Buck Allen for Baltimore. Now this is a guy I think that should be added in deeper leagues. Same deal, a lot of upside. Forsett's the guy out there. He's got a long leash, but I did like that Allen already has carved a role in that offense. Forsett goes down. Allen could be a nice guy to own, obviously. Stick him on your bench as a high upside guy. Dion Lewis is another guy I liked. We talked about him last week. The Patriots definitely like to use him. I mean, Blunt was out, obviously, so Lewis was out on the field a lot more than he will be normally when Blunt is healthy, but I think Lewis can definitely be kind of that Shane Vereen guy for them last year, so mainly only in PPR leagues is he going to have value. Alright, let's talk about some receivers. Moncrief for Indy, definitely a must-add in all leagues. T.Y. Hilton, they're saying day-to-day. I'd say he's probably doubtful for week 2. Moncrief, if you need help right now, you're not liking your receivers for week 2, I think he's a great pick up and play, and he could have obviously great value if Hilton were to miss a couple of weeks, and if Hilton has an even more serious injury, or if Andre Johnson goes down. Moncrief is definitely one of those third receivers in the league that has a huge upside, just waiting for his opportunity. Stevie Johnson's another guy I think is must-add in all leagues, only on 65% of leagues. The Chargers are going to use this guy. This guy is good, I'm telling you. Can't believe he's only on 65% of leagues. Pick this guy up. Brandon Coleman, another guy I want to talk about. He found the end zone. He didn't get as many targets as I would have liked, but Brandon Coleman, again, they're going to use him. He's a guy that they like. Marcus Colston's getting a little bit older, high-powered offense on the Saints. I think he could definitely be a good red zone threat for them. I think Coleman needs to be owned in all leagues. Terrence Williams is another guy that needs to be owned in all leagues. Tough blow for all you Des Bryant owners. I'm sorry. Looks like he's going to be out. They're saying probably week 7, week 8. So this is huge for Terrence Williams, who has been kind of underwhelming in my opinion. He didn't look good week 1. He dropped a couple passes. But this is a huge opportunity for him. He's going to have to step up huge. And he's going to get a lot more targets. And Beasley in deeper leagues, if you're looking at a PPR league, I think Beasley obviously gets a bump there as well. I did want to talk about James Jones. I think he's a must-add in deeper leagues. I think a lot of people are going to see his touchdowns, get excited about him, and just go and use a good waiver number on him or use a lot of fab money on him. Don't go crazy over James Jones. He's good, not great, and he does have good touchdown potential. So standard leagues, maybe you get a little bit more excited about him, but he wasn't targeted that much. He just happened to find the end zone. Don't go crazy over James Jones. If you can get him without using a good waiver, fine, but don't be using the #1 waiver on James Jones. Tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. I think he's a must-add in all leagues at this point. I think he's very much, in the tight end 1 category now. Now, Mike Evans was out, and they were playing from behind pretty much the entire game against Tennessee, but Seferian-Jenkins is a talented tight end, and with those receivers that they have out there, he's going to have not much attention on him. So obviously I like his upside, and again, I do think he is in the tight end 1 discussion right now. At quarterback, Marcus Mariota. I mean, what a what a great debut for this guy. Definitely won the battle of the rookie quarterbacks between him and Winston, but he's a guy that can do something with his legs. So even if he's only throwing for 200 yards, if he's rushing for 40, that's a pretty good fantasy week. And I think the Tennessee offense looked like they had a spark with Mariota. So I think he's the type of rookie quarterback that can have value in fantasy. So a couple of pick up and play defenses. First one, I like Kansas City. It's a little scary, I know, they got Denver, but Denver did not look good. They're coming on a short week. Peyton Manning does not look like himself. He can't move. His throws don't have much zip on them. I think Kansas City is a decent play this week on a short week. And then I also like Baltimore going up against Oakland. Baltimore's owned in about 70% of leagues right now, so they're still out there in a decent amount of leagues. Carr got a little banged up. We'll see if he's actually going to play week 2, but Baltimore's D looked pretty good week 1, so I do like them as a pickup and play week 2 if they're available in your league. Now this is just a portion of the list. If you want to see the full list, there's a link to it in the description. As always, if you got any questions, post them in the forums. Good luck week 2.